Hello and welcome to the Southeast Iowa Union News Break. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. Getting into today's top stories, Kendall Dwayne Letcher, a 64-year-old man from Washington, was sentenced Monday to 180 months in federal prison following his plea to a charge of receipt and distribution of child pornography. Letcher was ordered to pay $3,000 in restitution to each of his 4 victims, totaling $12,000. According to a court document, an investigation into a peer-to-peer file sharing system identified that Letcher was allowing others to download child pornography that he made available. Letcher admitted to viewing child pornography for the past 10 years, as well as utilizing the file sharing system since 2014. The investigation revealed that Letcher had amassed 3,785 images and 485 videos containing child sex abuse materials. United States Attorney Richard D. Westfall of Southern District of Iowa made the announcement. The case was investigated by Homeland Security Investigations and prosecuted by the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Iowa as part of the Department of Justice Project Safe Child Initiative, which was started in 2016 as a nationwide effort to combine law enforcement investigations and prosecutions, community action, and public awareness in order to reduce the incidence of sexual exploitation of children. Roughly 24 vehicles older than most things on the road made the annual trip from New London to Brighton Saturday morning. The tour is part of a tradition started in London and Brighton, back from across the pond, to celebrate the end of the red flag laws that required someone to walk ahead of recently invented cars with a flag to alert people of their approach. Saturday morning, participants got into vehicles older than themselves in Mount Pleasant and set out on a roughly 75-mile road trip to New London, then Brighton, and then back to Mount Pleasant. Every car involved was manufactured in the brass era before 1928. Those involved came from near and far in bringing their passion projects out for a drive. I tell my wife I don't smoke, I don't drink, I have no girlfriends, I have no motorcycles. This is what I enjoy doing, said Larry Schropp, who drove a 1913 Buick. It's just fun to do for us. You see the world very differently when you're driving at 35 miles an hour down the road in an open car versus a modern car. You notice lots of things you've never seen before. The cars often need maintenance along the way. Drivers are tailed by AAA vehicles, although most know their vehicles inside and out and carry tools to make whatever fixes they need or drive them such that the need for fixes is minimal. Those are top stories. It is now time for obituaries. Donald Lee Reeder of Burlington passed away on September 26th at the age of 90. A graveside committal service will be at 4 p.m. October 2nd at Crane Cemetery in Lomas, Illinois. Prue Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. Tammy Lynn Cooper of Milton passed away on September 24th at the age of 62. Celebration of life will be at 1 p.m. October 15th at Lacey State Park Lodge in Keosauqua, Iowa. Troy Andrew McLaren of Birmingham passed away on September 28th at the age of 55. Funeral services will be at 10:30 a.m. on October 3rd at the Sondheim Center. Bender Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. Gwendolyn L. Peterson of Mount Pleasant passed away on September 28th at the age of 98. Visitation will be from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. at Olson Powell Funeral Home. Lee Eugene Smith of Centerville passed away on September 20th at the age of 89. Funeral services will be held at 11 a.m. October 4th at Peace Lutheran Church in Beaver Creek, Ohio. Tobias Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. Carol Bell of Washington passed away on September 28th at the age of 81. Private family interment will take place at Elm Grove Cemetery. Jones and Ian Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. William Raymond Wheeler of Fremont passed away on September 28th at the age of 82. A celebration of life will be held at a later date. Benner Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. We're going to take a brief break and we come back about the weather and sports.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our community stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
Welcome back to the Southeast Iowa Union News Break. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. We have the football preview coming up, but first, the weather.
The weather is brought to you by Jacqueline Areola, LLC.
Come visit Jackie in her new location downtown. She is ready to serve Washington and the surrounding community. Weather can't get much better than it is today. We've had clear skies and a high of 72. Looking at the weekend, it will be partly cloudy with a high of 73 on Saturday. The high will remain 73 for Sunday, but this time with clear skies. And we will start our work week with some great weather, clear skies and a high of 72. And then Tuesday will be cloudier with a high of 74. That was the weather. It is now time for sports.
Sports, brought to you by Fairway.
Over the last decade, the Solon-Washington football series has certainly been a battle. The Spartans and Demons have played 10 times since 2013, and every meeting has been one of high stakes. On Friday at Spartan Stadium, the Demons will once again face off with one of their most familiar foes. If Washington can pull off the upset, the Demons will be right back in the heat of the district race. Solon comes in at 3-2. The Spartans are ranked number 9 in Class 3A, and they're the clear favorite in District 5. After winning its first 2 games, Washington is now 2-3, and coming off a 7-point homecoming loss to Grinnell, the Demons could really use a boost. If the Demons want to pull off the upset, they'll need a big game out of running back Taven Stewart, who found the end zone again last week, making it 8 touchdowns so far in his senior year. Washington quarterback Ethan Patterson has thrown 4 touchdown passes this season, and he's rushed for 1 as well. All 4 scores have went to different receivers, as Jude Brown, Evan Vandermolen, Luke Beanblossom, and Stewart all have 1 touchdown catch. The Washington special team unit made the biggest play of the night last week when Jude Carter blocked a punt and fell on it in the end zone. The Demons have been opportune all year with the ball on the ground, recovering 5 fumbles on defense and special teams. Solon has gotten the better of Washington in past matchups. The Spartans have won at 9 of the last 12, including a streak of 6 games in a row from 2015 to 2019. Washington beat Solon 33-18 in 2020, the last time the 2 teams played at Spartan Stadium, but Solon defeated Washington 44-21 at Case Field. Friday night's game will be the second to last home game on Washington's schedule. The Demons will close out the season with a road trip to Keokuk and 2 home games against Fairfield and West Burlington Notre Dame. That was the top stories for Washington today. I've been your host, Nick Steffens. This is the Southeast Iowa Union News Break, and I will see you next time.